Welcome back, Coinology. The story of the 2015 1-cent coin begins with a small, ordinary piece of copper-plated zinc that most people pass through their hands without a second thought, yet behind this everyday coin is a deep narrative of American history, economics, artistry, and the powerful idea that even the smallest denomination can sometimes carry extraordinary value. The 2015 1-cent coin belongs to the long-running Lincoln Cents series, a series that first appeared in 1909 and forever changed American coinage by placing a real historical figure on everyday money. By the time 2015 arrived, the Lincoln cent had already crossed more than a century of production, surviving wars, economic crashes, metal shortages, design changes, and constant debate about whether the penny should even continue to exist. Still, the 2015 1-cent coin was struck, quietly entering circulation, becoming part of millions of transactions, and yet for collectors and researchers, it represents another chapter in a much larger story that stretches back to Abraham Lincoln himself. In terms of physical characteristics, the 2015 1-cent coin follows the modern specifications that were adopted in the early 1980s. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams, making it significantly lighter than the earlier bronze cents that weighed about 3.11 grams. Its composition is primarily zinc, around 97.5%, with a thin copper plating of about 2.5% that gives it the familiar reddish-brown color associated with the penny. This change in composition was originally driven by rising copper prices, and by 2015 the zinc-based cent had long become standard. The diameter of the coin is about 19.05 millimeters, and the edge is plain, with no reading or lettering, a simple and practical design that has remained consistent for generations. Even with these modest physical traits, the coin fits perfectly into the long tradition of U.S. cent coinage. The obverse side of the 2015 1-cent coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This design traces its roots back to Victor David Brenner, the sculptor who created the original Lincoln portrait in 1909. Over the decades, the portrait has been refined and modified, but the essential character remains the same, a dignified profile of the 16th President of the United States, facing right. On the obverse, the word Liberty appears to the left of Lincoln's portrait, while the year 2015 is placed to the right. Above Lincoln's head, along the upper rim, is the national motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that has become deeply embedded in American coinage. Mint marks, when present, are also found on the obverse, just below the date. In 2015, coins were produced at multiple mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco for proof issues, each adding subtle distinctions that collectors pay close attention to. The reverse side of the 2015 1-cent coin features the Union Shield design, which was introduced in 2010. This marked a significant change from the Lincoln Memorial reverse that had been used from 1959 to 2008. The Union Shield consists of a shield with 13 vertical stripes, representing the original 13 states bound together in a single union, topped by a horizontal bar symbolizing Congress. Across the shield runs a banner with the words E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. Above the shield is the denomination 1 cent, while the words United States of America appear around the upper rim. This reverse design emphasizes unity, strength, and the foundational principles of the nation, making the coin not just a piece of currency, but a miniature symbol of American identity. When discussing the coin symbol, or what the coin represents symbolically, the 2015 1-cent stands as a symbol of continuity. Despite ongoing debates about eliminating the penny due to its low purchasing power and production costs, the coin continues to be minted, representing tradition, history, and the idea that every part of the monetary system, no matter how small, has a role to play. For collectors, the penny often serves as an entry point into the world of numismatics. Many collectors began their journey by examining pennies from pocket change, and the 2015 1-cent continues that tradition for a new generation. Symbolically, it also reflects the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, whose image has remained on the cent longer than any other figure has appeared on a U.S. coin. The historical background of the 2015 1-cent cannot be separated from the broader history of the Lincoln cent series. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent was revolutionary at the time. Before that, U.S. coins typically featured symbolic representations rather than real people. The decision to honor Lincoln marked a shift in American coinage philosophy. Over the years, the cent witnessed numerous changes, including the addition of the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959, the transition to zinc composition in 1982, and the introduction of special reverse designs in 2009 to celebrate Lincoln's bicentennial. By 2015, the cent had settled into its modern form, combining historical imagery with contemporary minting technology. In terms of coin value, the standard 2015 1-cent coin found in circulation is generally worth its face value of 1 cent. However, the real interest lies in specific conditions, mint marks, errors, and special issues. Coins in uncirculated condition, especially those graded at high levels by professional grading services, can command higher prices. Proof versions struck at the San Francisco Mint, with their mirror-like finishes and sharp details, are particularly desirable to collectors. Beyond standard issues, error coins such as off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or unusual plating errors can significantly increase a coin's value. These errors transform an ordinary penny into a rare collectible that can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on rarity and demand. The idea of a 2015 1-cent coin being worth an astonishing market value, sometimes rumored or claimed to reach figures like $42,000 million, belongs to the realm of extreme speculation, hype, and the fascination that surrounds rare coins. In reality, no regular 2015 penny has sold for anything close to such a figure, but the concept highlights how collectors dream of discovering a unique, one-of-a-kind specimen that defies expectations. In numismatic history, there are indeed coins that have sold for millions of dollars, such as the 1943 bronze cent or the 1794 flowing hair silver dollar. These legendary sales fuel the imagination and keep collectors searching through their change, hoping that an overlooked coin might turn out to be extraordinary. The market for coins is driven by several factors, including rarity, condition, historical significance, demand, and provenance. For the 2015 1 cent, the market value today is influenced primarily by condition and special characteristics. A common circulated example remains very modest in value, while a pristine, professionally graded example can be worth significantly more to a dedicated collector. Proof sets from 2015 are also actively traded, often purchased by collectors who seek complete annual sets. Over time, as coins are lost, damaged, or melted, surviving high-quality examples may become scarcer, potentially increasing their value in the long term. The fascination with the 2015 1 cent also reflects a broader cultural interest in collecting modern coins. While older coins often receive more attention, modern issues offer their own appeal. They are accessible, affordable, and still connected to everyday life. Collectors can trace small design details, minting quality, and production numbers, building complete collections that tell the story of a particular year or era. The 2015 1 cent, produced during a period of economic recovery and technological advancement in minting, represents a snapshot of its time. As this narrative continues, the 2015 1 cent coin stands as a reminder that value is not always immediately obvious. A coin's worth can be measured in more than just money. It can be measured in history, symbolism, craftsmanship, and the personal stories of those who collect it. From its precise weight and composition to its iconic design and place within a century-long tradition, the 2015 1 cent carries far more significance than its small size suggests. And for those who believe that hidden treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places, this humble penny remains a powerful symbol of possibility, curiosity, and the enduring magic of coin collecting. As we move deeper into the world of the 2015 1 cent coin, it becomes important to understand how minting processes and production numbers play a crucial role in shaping both collector interest and perceived value. In 2015, the United States Mint produced hundreds of millions of 1-cent coins to meet everyday circulation demand. The Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint were responsible for most circulation strikes, while the San Francisco Mint focused on proof coins specially made for collectors. Each mint leaves subtle differences that trained eyes can detect, from strike sharpness to surface texture, and these differences can influence desirability in the collector market. Even though the design is the same, a 2015 cent from Philadelphia may appear slightly different in tone or detail compared to one from Denver, and proof coins from San Francisco stand apart with their deep mirror-like fields and frosted devices. The manufacturing quality of a coin is one of the most critical factors in determining its long-term value. During 2015, modern minting technology ensured relatively consistent quality, but no minting process is perfect. Small variations occurred during striking, plating, and handling. Some coins emerge with sharper details, stronger strikes, and cleaner surfaces, while others show weakness in certain areas of the design. For collectors, these differences matter immensely. A 2015 1 cent graded at the highest mint state levels, such as MS68 or higher, can be dramatically more valuable than a coin graded just a few points lower. This grading system, developed to standardize condition assessment, transforms a simple penny into a precise collectible asset. One of the most exciting aspects of modern pennies like the 2015 1 cent is the possibility of mint errors. Error coins are created when something goes wrong during the minting process, and they often escape into circulation unnoticed. Examples include double die errors, where design elements appear doubled due to misalignment during hubbing, off-center strikes where the design is not properly centered on the planchet, and clipped planchets where a portion of the coin is missing due to improper metal cutting. There are also plating errors unique to zinc cents, such as bubbles, peeling copper layers, or missing plating entirely, revealing the gray zinc beneath. These errors can elevate a coin's value from 1 cent to hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on severity and rarity. The collector psychology surrounding the 2015 1 cent is fueled by stories of extraordinary discoveries. Tales of rare pennies found in pocket change circulate widely, inspiring people to look more closely at their coins. While the majority of 2015 cents are common, the possibility of finding an unusual specimen keeps interest alive. This sense of treasure hunting is a powerful force in numismatics. Even when the odds are low, the thrill of discovery is real, and it turns everyday objects into sources of excitement and curiosity. The historical context of 2015 also adds another layer of meaning to the coin. This was a time when digital payments were rapidly expanding, and physical cash was increasingly questioned in terms of relevance. Despite this shift, billions of coins and notes were still in circulation, and the penny continued to be produced. The 2015 1 cent thus symbolizes resilience in the face of technological change. It stands as a tangible reminder of a monetary system that has adapted over centuries, surviving transitions from precious metals to base metals and from physical cash to digital transactions. When people talk about astonishing figures like a $42,000 million valuation, it is important to understand how hype, misunderstanding, and exaggeration can influence perceptions. In reality, coin values are determined by real market transactions, auction results, and collector demand. However, extreme valuations often stem from hypothetical scenarios involving unique, one-of-a-kind errors, historical importance, or legendary status. If, for example, a completely unknown, unprecedented error were discovered on a 2015 1 cent, combined with flawless condition and official recognition, it could become extraordinarily valuable. While such scenarios are incredibly unlikely, they keep the imagination alive and contribute to the mystique of coin collecting. The secondary market for modern pennies operates through coin shows, online marketplaces, auctions, and private sales. Collectors actively trade 2015 1 cent coins as part of larger sets or specialized collections focusing on Lincoln cents, Union Shield reverses, or specific mint marks. Dealers carefully examine coins under magnification, looking for surface marks, strike quality, and originality. Authentication and grading by reputable services provide confidence to buyers and sellers alike, creating transparency and stability in the market. This structured marketplace contrasts sharply with the casual way pennies are handled in everyday life, highlighting the dual nature of the coin as both currency and collectible. Another important aspect of the 2015 1 cent is its educational value. Many collectors, especially younger ones, learn about history, economics, and art through studying coins. The Lincoln portrait introduces discussions about leadership, the Civil War, and the preservation of the Union. The Union Shield reverse reinforces themes of unity and federal strength. Even the metal composition opens conversations about resource management and economic decision-making. In this way, the 2015 penny serves as a small but powerful teaching tool, connecting past and present through a single object. As time passes, the survival rate of coins becomes a significant factor in value. Although millions of 2015 1 cent coins were minted, not all will survive in collectible condition. Coins are lost, damaged, corroded, or discarded every year. High-quality examples preserved in rolls, sets, or collections may become scarcer relative to the total mintage. This gradual reduction in supply can enhance desirability among collectors seeking top-condition specimens. The passage of time transforms modern coins into historical artifacts, and what seems common today can become less so in the future. The emotional connection people form with coins should not be underestimated. For many, a penny from a specific year may be associated with personal memories, milestones, or family traditions. The 2015 1 cent might remind someone of a particular phase in their life, a first collection, or a meaningful event. These personal associations add intangible value that goes beyond price guides and auction records. In this sense, the true worth of a coin is often a blend of monetary value and personal significance. As part 2 of this journey through the 2015 1 cent comes to a close, it becomes clear that this small coin represents far more than its face value suggests. Through its production, design, errors, market behavior, and symbolic meaning, it occupies a unique place in modern numismatics. The 2015 1 cent stands at the intersection of tradition and change, commonality and rarity, simplicity and complexity. And as long as people continue to look closely at the smallest details, the humble penny will continue to inspire curiosity, passion, and the dream that even the most ordinary coin might one day reveal an extraordinary story. Continuing further into the deeper layers of the 2015 1 cent coin, attention naturally turns toward long-term collectability and how time reshapes the perception of modern coins. When a coin is first released, it is often dismissed as ordinary because it is everywhere. Yet history has shown again and again that today's common coins can become tomorrow's important collectibles, especially when they are preserved in exceptional condition or carry unique characteristics. The 2015 1 cent exists at this early stage of its life cycle, where it is still widely available, but its future standing is slowly being shaped by how many examples survive in pristine form and how collector interest evolves over decades. Condition sensitivity is one of the defining features of modern coin collecting, and the 2015 penny is a perfect example. Because minting quality in modern times is generally high, collectors set extremely strict standards. Even the smallest scratch, spot, or discoloration can dramatically lower a coin's grade and therefore its market value. Coins that remain untouched, stored properly from the moment they leave the mint, stand out as exceptional. These pieces, often found in original mint rolls or sealed sets, are the ones most likely to command premiums in the future. This is why some collectors focus not on rarity of mintage, but rarity of condition, a concept that becomes more important with each passing year. Another fascinating dimension of the 2015 1 cent is how it fits into the broader timeline of the Union Shield reverse. Introduced in 2010, this reverse design marked a return to a more symbolic representation of national unity after decades of the Lincoln Memorial design. For collectors, building a complete run of Union Shield pennies from 2010 onward is a popular goal. Within that context, the 2015 issue becomes an essential link in the chain. Each year shows subtle differences in strike quality, surface finish, and overall appearance, allowing careful collectors to compare and contrast coins across the series. Over time, certain years may stand out as particularly well-struck or unusually scarce in top grades, and the 2015 cent may one day earn such recognition. The role of professional grading services becomes even more critical as collectors look toward the future. A 2015 1 cent that has been authenticated, graded, and encapsulated by a respected service gains a level of credibility and protection. This not only preserves the coin physically, but also secures its identity and condition for future generations. As the market matures, graded examples often become the standard by which value is measured. In high-end modern coin auctions, tiny differences in grade can lead to dramatic price differences, reinforcing the importance of expert evaluation. Economic factors also influence the long-term outlook of the 2015 1 cent. Inflation, changes in metal prices, and shifts in monetary policy all affect how people perceive coins. There has been ongoing debate in the United States about discontinuing the penny due to its low purchasing power and production cost. If such a decision were ever made, all existing pennies, including those from 2015, would instantly become part of a closed historical set. This alone could spark renewed interest and increased demand among collectors, as people rush to preserve examples from the final years of production. In such a scenario, coins from the mid-2010s could take on added historical significance. The cultural impact of the penny should also be considered when evaluating the 2015 1 cent. The penny has long been embedded in American language and tradition, appearing in phrases, superstitions, and everyday habits. Expressions like "a penny for your thoughts" or the custom of picking up a lucky penny reflect a deep cultural connection. The 2015 penny is a modern continuation of this tradition, linking present-day society with customs that have existed for generations. Cultural resonance often plays a subtle but important role in sustaining collector interest over time. From an artistic perspective, the 2015 1 cent represents the endurance of classical design in a modern world. The Lincoln portrait, rooted in early 20th century sculpture, continues to appear relevant and dignified more than a century later. The Union Shield reverse, though modern in its introduction, draws heavily on historical symbolism. This blend of old and new gives the coin a timeless quality, making it appealing not just to numismatists, but also to those who appreciate art and design. Over time, this artistic consistency contributes to the coin's lasting appeal. Speculation about extraordinary values, including figures as dramatic as $42,000 million, often reflects the emotional side of collecting rather than strict market reality. Such numbers capture attention and inspire imagination, encouraging people to learn more about coins and their potential. While realistic values for the 2015 1 cent remain grounded in actual sales and demand, the dream of discovering something unprecedented keeps the hobby alive. This sense of possibility is a key reason why coin collecting has endured for centuries. The global perspective is also worth noting. While the 2015 1 cent is a US coin, it is collected and studied by people around the world. International collectors often seek examples of American coinage because of its historical influence and global recognition. The Lincoln cent, in particular, is one of the most recognizable coins worldwide. As time passes, global interest can contribute to sustained demand, especially for well-preserved or unusual examples of the 2015 issue. As Part 3 unfolds, the 2015 1 cent continues to reveal itself as more than just spare change. It becomes a case study in how modern coins transition into historical artifacts, shaped by condition, context, culture, and collector behavior. Each year that passes adds another layer of meaning, turning a once common object into a marker of its time. And in that slow transformation lies the enduring fascination of the penny, a reminder that even the smallest denomination can carry a story that grows richer with age. Moving even deeper into the long journey of the 2015 1 cent, it is essential to explore how rarity is not always about low mintage numbers, but about survival, awareness, and demand over long periods of time. Millions upon millions of 2015 pennies were struck, yet only a tiny fraction will ever be carefully examined, professionally graded, and preserved at the highest quality levels. Most will continue to circulate until they are worn smooth, damaged beyond recognition, or removed from circulation entirely. This natural process of attrition slowly reshapes the population of available coins, and it is this silent reduction that can eventually transform a modern cent into a desirable collectible. The storage and handling of coins plays a critical role in determining their future. A 2015 1 cent kept loose in a jar or pocket will almost certainly suffer scratches, nicks, and discoloration. On the other hand, a coin immediately placed into a protective holder, away from moisture and air, can retain its original mint luster for decades. Collectors who understand this often treat modern coins with the same care once reserved only for rare antiques. This careful preservation mindset is one reason why modern coins, despite high mintages, can still develop scarcity in top condition over time. Another layer of intrigue surrounding the 2015 1 cent is the study of die varieties. Even when a coin is not an obvious error, it may still exhibit subtle differences caused by variations in the dies used during production. These can include minor doubling, repunched mint marks, or slight shifts in design elements. While many of these varieties are extremely subtle, dedicated specialists spend countless hours examining coins under magnification to identify them. When a new variety is discovered and officially recognized, interest in that specific version can surge, increasing its desirability and value. The 2015 cent, like all mass-produced coins, holds the potential for such discoveries. The economics of coin collecting also influence how the 2015 1 cent is perceived. Collectors often balance emotional attachment with practical considerations such as market trends and liquidity. A coin's value is not static, it fluctuates based on demand, collector interest, and broader economic conditions. During times of economic uncertainty, tangible assets like coins can become more attractive to some investors. While the penny is not typically viewed as an investment vehicle, exceptional examples can still draw attention as affordable entry points into the market. The role of storytelling in numismatics cannot be overlooked. Coins become more valuable and more interesting when they are connected to compelling narratives. The 2015 1 cent carries multiple stories at once: the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the symbolism of the Union Shield, the debate over the future of the penny, and the broader transition from physical to digital money. Each of these narratives adds depth to the coin's identity, making it more than just a metal disc. Collectors are often drawn as much to these stories as they are to the coin itself. Technological advancements in coin production also shape the identity of the 2015 1-cent. Modern minting techniques allow for precise control over design and quality, resulting in coins with sharp details and consistent appearance. At the same time, this precision makes deviations and errors more noticeable and therefore more intriguing. A small mistake stands out clearly against the backdrop of uniformity, making error coins particularly exciting for collectors. The 2015 penny exists in this technologically advanced era, where perfection is expected and imperfections become highly prized. Public perception plays a subtle yet powerful role in shaping the future of the penny. Many people view pennies as inconvenient or unnecessary, often leaving them behind in transactions. This casual disregard can actually contribute to long-term scarcity, as fewer people bother to save them in good condition. Paradoxically, the more a coin is ignored in everyday life, the more likely it is that well-preserved examples will become rare. The 2015 1-cent benefits from this phenomenon, quietly slipping through fingers while a small group of collectors pays close attention. Education and outreach within the coin collecting community also influence demand. Coin clubs, online forums, and educational programs introduce new collectors to modern coins and teach them how to evaluate condition, recognize errors, and appreciate historical context. As more people learn about the nuances of coins like the 2015 1-cent, interest grows. This gradual expansion of knowledge helps sustain the hobby and ensures that modern coins are not overlooked simply because they are recent. Looking far into the future, the 2015 1-cent may one day be studied as a representative artifact of early 21st century America. Historians and collectors alike may examine it to understand economic conditions, design philosophies, and cultural values of the time. In this sense, the coin transcends its original purpose as money and becomes a historical document. Its small size belies its potential importance as a witness to a specific moment in history. As Part 4 continues to build this expansive narrative, the 2015 1-cent emerges as a coin shaped by patience and perspective. Its true story is not written in a single year or decade, but over generations. What is common today may become meaningful tomorrow, and what seems insignificant may later be recognized as essential. The penny teaches this lesson quietly, one coin at a time, inviting those who are willing to look closely to discover layers of value far beyond a single cent. As the exploration of the 2015 1-cent moves forward, attention naturally shifts toward the human element behind coin collecting. Because coins do not exist in isolation, they gain meaning through the people who search for them, study them, trade them, and preserve them. Every 2015 penny that survives in high condition does so because someone, somewhere, made a conscious decision to set it aside rather than spend it. That simple decision, repeated thousands of times across the world, slowly shapes the future population of collectible examples. Over decades, these individual choices collectively determine which coins remain common and which quietly drift into scarcity. The act of searching itself is a defining part of the penny's story. Many collectors begin by examining rolls of cents obtained from banks, patiently scanning each coin for unusual details. The 2015 1-cent, with its modern strike and clean design, can sometimes reveal surprising features under magnification. Slight doubling on letters, unusual texture in the fields, or unexpected color variations can turn an ordinary coin into something worth deeper investigation. This process of careful observation sharpens skills and builds knowledge, making the collector more aware not only of coins, but of craftsmanship and precision in general. Color and toning are also important aspects of modern pennies like the 2015 issue. Freshly struck coins display a bright red copper color, but over time, exposure to air and environmental conditions can cause the surface to darken or develop subtle tones. Collectors often classify copper coins as red, red-brown, or brown, and these distinctions can have a significant impact on value. A 2015 1-cent that retains its original red color decades into the future will be far more desirable than one that has dulled or spotted. This makes preservation an ongoing challenge and an essential part of collecting strategy. Another dimension that adds complexity to the 2015 1-cent is the role of misinformation and exaggeration in the modern age. With the rise of social media and online marketplaces, sensational claims about coin values spread rapidly. Headlines promising life-changing riches from a single penny capture attention and fuel excitement, even when the underlying facts are misunderstood or exaggerated. While these claims often lack accuracy, they still play a role in driving public interest. Many people who begin researching such claims end up learning genuine information about coins, grading, and history, ultimately contributing to the growth of the hobby. The idea of a $42,000 million valuation, though unrealistic in practical terms, represents a symbolic extreme of this fascination. It reflects the human tendency to imagine extraordinary outcomes and to dream of hidden treasures. In the real numismatic world, value grows through documented rarity, verified condition, and sustained demand. Yet without the dream, many collectors might never take the first step. The 2015 1 cent exists at the intersection of reality and imagination, grounded in everyday use but elevated by the stories people tell about it. Intergenerational collecting is another factor that shapes the long-term future of coins like the 2015 penny. Coins are often passed down within families, accompanied by stories and memories. A child who receives a small collection from a parent or grandparent may later add to it, preserving coins that might otherwise have been lost. Over time, these family collections can become significant, both emotionally and historically. The 2015 1 cent, saved today, could one day be part of such a legacy, connecting different generations through a shared object. The global movement of coins also deserves attention. Although minted in the United States, pennies frequently travel beyond national borders through tourism, trade, and personal exchange. A 2015 1 cent might end up in a collection halfway around the world, representing American culture and history to someone who has never visited the country. This international circulation adds another layer of survival, as coins preserved abroad may avoid the heavy wear of domestic circulation and remain in better condition. Modern documentation and record-keeping further enhance the significance of coins from this era. High-resolution photography, online databases, and digital archives allow collectors to share discoveries and track known examples of rare varieties or errors. If an unusual 2015 1 cent is found, it can be documented and studied almost instantly by experts worldwide. This level of connectivity accelerates knowledge growth and helps establish legitimacy and value more quickly than in the past. The coin becomes part of a global conversation rather than a solitary curiosity. Psychologically, the penny occupies a unique place in the collector's mind. It is small, humble, and often overlooked, yet it invites close inspection and rewards patience. The 2015 1 cent embodies this paradox perfectly. Its low face value lowers the barrier to entry, making it accessible to anyone, while its potential variations and condition sensitivity provide endless depth for those who wish to study it seriously. This combination of accessibility and complexity is a key reason why the Lincoln Cent series remains one of the most collected in the world. As Part 5 continues this expansive reflection, the 2015 1 cent becomes less about immediate monetary value and more about time, attention, and human curiosity. It is shaped by hands that handle it, eyes that examine it, and minds that imagine its future. Whether preserved in a protective holder or forgotten in a drawer, each coin carries the possibility of rediscovery. And it is within this possibility that the true, enduring allure of the penny quietly resides, waiting for the next chapter to unfold. As the narrative of the 2015 1 cent continues to unfold, it becomes increasingly clear that time is the most powerful force shaping the destiny of this small coin. Time affects metal, memory, markets, and meaning. What begins as a simple unit of currency gradually transforms into a historical artifact, and the 2015 penny is still early in that transformation. With each passing year, it drifts further away from active circulation and closer to the realm of reflection, where collectors and historians begin to view it not just as money, but as evidence of an era. One of the most important long-term influences on the 2015 1 cent is legislation and policy. Decisions made by governments can instantly alter the trajectory of a coin's future. Discussions about eliminating the penny have surfaced repeatedly over the years, driven by rising production costs and declining purchasing power. If such a decision were ever finalized, the 2015 cent would become part of a finite historical record. Coins from the final years of production often attract special attention, as they symbolize the end of a tradition. Even rumors of such policy changes can increase public interest and encourage people to save coins that they might otherwise ignore. Environmental factors also play a subtle but critical role in the survival of modern pennies. Zinc-based cents, like the 2015 issue, are more vulnerable to corrosion once the copper plating is breached. Exposure to moisture can cause zinc rot, leading to bubbling, cracking, and eventual disintegration. This means that many 2015 pennies will not survive intact over long periods, especially if stored improperly. Ironically, this vulnerability increases the importance of well-preserved examples. Coins that remain sealed, dry, and protected may become significantly scarcer relative to the total mintage, enhancing their long-term desirability. The study of population reports offers another lens through which to view the 2015 1-cent professional grading services published data showing how many coins of a particular year and grade have been certified. Over time, these reports reveal patterns of scarcity and abundance. For modern coins, it is often the highest grades that show the greatest rarity. A small difference in grade can translate into a dramatic difference in population, and therefore value. The 2015 penny's future standing will, in part, be determined by how many examples achieve and retain top-tier grades. Market behavior is also shaped by generational shifts. As older collectors gradually pass their collections to younger generations, tastes and priorities evolve. Some future collectors may place greater emphasis on modern issues, viewing them as closer to their own lived experience. For them, the 2015 1-cent may hold nostalgic value, representing childhood, family, or a specific period in history. Nostalgia can be a powerful driver of demand, sometimes elevating coins that were once considered unremarkable. The philosophical side of coin collecting is particularly relevant when considering the penny. The 2015 1-cent challenges assumptions about worth and significance. Its face value is minimal, yet the effort invested in studying, preserving, and collecting it can be immense. This contrast invites reflection on how humans assign value. Is value purely economic, or does it also arise from attention, care, and meaning? The penny suggests that value is not fixed, but created through engagement in time. The 2015 cent also exists within a broader global context of changing money systems. As digital currencies, contactless payments, and virtual transactions become more common, physical coins take on a new role. They become tangible links to a past where money could be held, weighed, and examined. In this future, the 2015 1-cent may be seen as part of the transitional phase between traditional coinage and a largely digital economy. This transitional significance can add to its historical importance. Collectors often speak of sleepers, coins that are overlooked for years before suddenly gaining recognition. The 2015 1-cent has the potential to be such a sleeper, especially if certain varieties, errors, or condition rarities are not fully appreciated today. As research deepens and new discoveries are made, attention can shift quickly. Coins once dismissed as ordinary may rise in prominence, surprising even seasoned collectors. The emotional satisfaction of completion also plays a role in sustaining interest. Many collectors aim to assemble complete date and mint sets of Lincoln cents. The 2015 penny is an essential component of such collections. As collectors strive for completeness, demand for specific years and mint marks remains steady. Over time, this steady demand supports the coin's presence in the market and helps preserve its relevance. As Part 6 continues this long reflection, the 2015 1-cent stands as a quiet witness to change. It observes shifting technologies, evolving values, and the passage of generations. Its journey is not dramatic or sudden, but slow and steady, shaped by countless small decisions made by individuals and institutions alike. In that slow journey lies its enduring power, reminding us that even the smallest coin can carry the weight of time, history, and human thought far beyond what its size would ever suggest. As the long journey of the 2015 1 cent continues into this next phase, the focus naturally turns toward legacy, because every coin, no matter how small, ultimately leaves behind a trail of influence that extends far beyond its original purpose. The 2015 penny is not only a product of its time, but also a participant in a centuries-old monetary tradition. Its legacy is being written quietly, through circulation, preservation, neglect, and rediscovery, all unfolding simultaneously across the world. One powerful aspect of this legacy is documentation. Unlike coins of ancient or medieval times, the 2015 1 cent exists in an era of intense record-keeping. Mint reports, production statistics, design records, and legislative documents are all carefully archived. This wealth of information allows future researchers to reconstruct the exact circumstances of the coin's creation with remarkable accuracy. For historians, this level of detail transforms the coin into a reliable primary source, offering insight into industrial capabilities, economic priorities, and cultural values of early 21st century America. The emotional narrative surrounding the penny continues to evolve as well. For some, the penny represents frugality and careful spending. For others, it symbolizes inconvenience or obsolescence. The 2015 1 cent sits at the crossroads of these attitudes. It reflects a society balancing respect for tradition with pressure for efficiency and modernization. This tension adds depth to the coin story, making it a reflection of broader social debates rather than just a unit of currency. Collectors often form personal philosophies around why they collect. Some are driven by investment potential, others by historical curiosity, artistic appreciation, or simple enjoyment. The 2015 penny accommodates all of these motivations in different ways. It offers affordability for beginners, complexity for specialists, and historical context for scholars. This versatility ensures that the coin remains relevant across different segments of the collecting community, strengthening its long-term presence. The process of re-evaluation is another key factor in the evolving story of the 2015 1 cent. As new research methods emerge and analytical tools improve, coins are often re-examined with fresh eyes. Advanced imaging techniques can reveal previously unnoticed die characteristics or subtle errors. As these discoveries are published and shared, perceptions shift. A coin once thought to be entirely ordinary may gain new significance based on newly identified features. The 2015 penny remains open to such re-evaluation, its full story not yet completely told. Cultural memory also shapes the way coins are understood. In the future, when people look back on the 2010s, physical coins like the 2015 cent may evoke a sense of nostalgia for a time when cash was still widely used. That emotional connection can influence how the coin is valued and remembered. Nostalgia often amplifies interest, turning everyday objects into cherished symbols of a bygone era. The penny's relationship with education continues to be important as well. Teachers, parents, and mentors frequently use coins to introduce concepts such as history, math, and economics. The 2015 1 cent, with its clear date and recognizable imagery, serves as a convenient teaching tool. Through these educational interactions, the coin reaches audiences far beyond traditional collectors, embedding itself into learning experiences that shape future perspectives. Another subtle but significant factor is comparison. Coins are often judged not in isolation, but relative to those that came before and after them. The 2015 penny will inevitably be compared with earlier Lincoln cents and later issues, highlighting changes in design quality, metal composition, and production philosophy. These comparisons help define the coin's identity within the broader series, clarifying what makes it representative or distinctive. As myths and exaggerated claims circulate, they too become part of the coin's cultural footprint. Stories of extreme values, even when inaccurate, contribute to public awareness. They encourage people to look more closely at their change, sparking curiosity that may lead to genuine learning. In this way, even misinformation can indirectly support the preservation and study of coins like the 2015 1 cent. As Part 7 draws this section of the narrative forward, the 2015 1 cent appears less like a static object and more like a living participant in an ongoing story. Its meaning shifts with time, shaped by memory, research, emotion, and debate. Long after its purchasing power has faded, its ability to provoke thought, curiosity, and connection will likely remain. And in that enduring influence lies the true measure of its legacy, quietly continuing long after the coin itself has passed from hand to hand. As the story of the 2015 1 cent moves further along, it becomes clear that the final measure of a coin's importance is not decided quickly, but slowly, through accumulation of meaning over time. The penny's journey is shaped not only by collectors and markets, but by silence as well, by years when it is ignored, forgotten in drawers, jars, and boxes, quietly aging while the world changes around it. This quiet passage of time is what eventually transforms ordinary objects into historical witnesses, and the 2015 1 cent is firmly on that path. Memory plays a powerful role in this transformation. Coins often outlive the moments they were created in, becoming physical reminders of everyday life in a specific era. The 2015 penny may one day be used to illustrate what daily transactions looked like in the mid-2010s, how money felt in the hand, and how small denominations still circulated despite declining purchasing power. For future generations, such tangible connections to the past can be far more meaningful than digital records or written descriptions alone. The question of usefulness versus symbolism also becomes more pronounced over time. Even during its circulation years, the penny's practical value was frequently questioned. Yet symbolism does not fade as easily as utility. The image of Abraham Lincoln, the words etched into the metal, and the shield representing unity all remain long after the coin's spending power becomes irrelevant. The 2015 1 cent thus transitions from a tool of commerce into a carrier of ideas, values, and identity. There is also an ethical dimension to collecting that subtly influences the coin's story. Many collectors see themselves as temporary guardians rather than permanent owners. They preserve coins not only for personal satisfaction, but for future collectors, historians, and enthusiasts. In this sense, a well-preserved 2015 penny becomes part of a shared cultural inheritance. Each generation protects it for the next, extending its lifespan far beyond what circulation alone would allow. The role of archives and museums may become increasingly important for coins of this era. Institutions that collect everyday objects often seek items that represent ordinary life rather than extraordinary rarity. A typical 2015 1 cent, especially one preserved in original condition, could find its way into such collections as an example of early 21st century currency. Within this context, its value is measured not in money, but in representational significance. The idea of scale is also worth considering. Individually, a single penny seems insignificant, but collectively, billions of pennies reflect enormous economic activity and social behavior. The 2015 1 cent was part of a massive system of exchange, supporting countless transactions, decisions, and routines. Studying it allows insight into how large systems are built from small units, how economies function at the most basic level, and how even minimal denominations contribute to the whole. As technology continues to evolve, physical coins may increasingly stand out as artifacts of a more tactile age. The 2015 penny belongs to a generation that still relied heavily on physical currency, but also existed alongside smartphones, online banking, and digital payments. This dual identity makes it especially interesting to future observers, as it marks a transitional phase in monetary history. Coins from such transitional periods often gain additional attention precisely because they sit between two worlds. Emotionally, the penny often evokes simplicity. Its small size and familiar appearance can trigger feelings of comfort, nostalgia, or even childhood memories. The 2015 1 cent, though modern, still carries this emotional resonance. It reminds people of counting change, saving coins in jars, or learning basic math through physical money. These emotional connections deepen its significance and ensure that it remains meaningful even when its economic role diminishes. Speculation about extraordinary value continues to hover around such coins, not because it is likely, but because it reflects hope and imagination. The dream that an overlooked object might hold incredible worth is a powerful motivator. While realistic valuations remain grounded in market evidence, the myth itself becomes part of the coin's story, encouraging curiosity and engagement. In this way, the 2015 penny benefits from both reality and legend, each reinforcing interest in different ways. As this eighth part carries the narrative forward, the 2015 1 cent emerges as a symbol of continuity in a rapidly changing world. It is small, simple, and often underestimated, yet it quietly accumulates meaning through time, memory, and human attention. Long after its role in commerce has ended, its role in storytelling will continue, reminding future generations that history is often preserved not in grand monuments, but in the smallest objects that people once held every day. As the journey of the 2015 1 cent approaches its later stages, reflection becomes the dominant theme, because the true impact of such a coin is understood best when viewed from a distance in time. The penny's life does not end when it leaves circulation. Instead, it enters a slower, quieter phase where meaning accumulates rather than fades. The 2015 1 cent is now moving steadily toward that phase, where its significance will be shaped by memory, interpretation, and the values of future generations. One of the most compelling aspects of the penny's long-term story is how ordinary objects gain authority as historical evidence. In the future, researchers may study the 2015 cent to understand production methods, material choices, and design priorities of its era. The decision to continue using a zinc core with copper plating, for example, reveals much about economic pressures and resource management. Even small details, such as font style or spacing, can reflect broader design trends and technological capabilities of the time. The social life of the penny also deserves attention. Coins pass through countless hands, crossing boundaries of class, age, and geography. The 2015 1 cent participated in millions of everyday interactions, buying food, making change, tipping, or being dropped into charity boxes. Each interaction leaves no physical mark, yet collectively they form the lived experience of the coin. This invisible history gives the penny a depth that cannot be measured by rarity or grade alone. There is also a reflective contrast between permanence and impermanence. Coins are designed to last, yet their relevance can change rapidly. The 2015 penny was minted to circulate for decades, but its usefulness may decline far sooner due to economic and technological shifts. This contrast highlights a broader truth about human systems. We often build things for longevity, only to repurpose or reinterpret them as circumstances change. The penny becomes a quiet lesson in adaptation and resilience. Collectors in the future may view the 2015 1 cent through lenses very different from those of today. What seems abundant now may appear scarce later, not because fewer were minted, but because fewer survived in meaningful condition. What seems unremarkable now may later stand out as representative of a specific design philosophy or cultural moment. This evolving perspective ensures that the coin story remains dynamic rather than fixed. The educational role of the penny is likely to persist long after its circulation ends. Physical coins provide a tangible way to teach abstract concepts such as value, exchange, and history. A 2015 penny, used in a classroom decades from now, could help students understand how money once functioned in daily life. In this way, the coin becomes a bridge between generations, transmitting knowledge through touch and observation. The idea of stewardship becomes increasingly relevant as coins age. Those who preserve pennies today may not be the ones who ultimately interpret their significance. By saving and caring for a 2015 1 cent, collectors act as custodians for the future, ensuring that options remain open for study, display, and appreciation. This sense of responsibility adds a moral dimension to collecting, transforming it from a hobby into a form of cultural preservation. Even debates and controversies surrounding the penny contribute to its narrative. Arguments about cost, efficiency, and relevance become part of the historical record, shaping how future observers understand the coin's context. The 2015 cent exists within this debate, representing a time when tradition and practicality were in active conversation. Such debates add richness to the coin story, situating it within broader social and economic discussions. As myths of extraordinary value continue to circulate, they serve as modern folklore. While the idea of a $42,000 million penny may never align with market reality, it reflects a deep human fascination with hidden worth. These myths encourage people to look closer, to question assumptions, and to engage with history. In this way, even exaggerated claims indirectly support the coin's legacy by keeping it in public consciousness. As Part 9 brings the narrative closer to its conclusion, the 2015 1-cent stands revealed as far more than a minor denomination. It is a record of choices, a witness to daily life, and a vessel for memory. Its significance grows not from dramatic rarity, but from quiet endurance. And as long as people continue to reflect on the objects that shaped their lives, the penny will continue to speak, telling its story one small detail at a time. As the story of the 2015 1-cent reaches its final moment, what remains is a sense of quiet completeness, the understanding that this small coin has carried far more meaning than its size or face value could ever suggest. The journey from mint to pocket, from circulation to collection, and from everyday object to historical witness reveals how value is not only created by rarity or price, but by time, memory, and human attention. The 2015 penny stands as a symbol of how ordinary things slowly become extraordinary simply by enduring. In the end, the 2015 1-cent represents a closing chapter of an era where physical money still played a central role in daily life. It belongs to a generation of coins that existed alongside rapidly growing digital systems, bridging the gap between traditional cash and a future increasingly shaped by virtual transactions. Because of this, the penny carries the weight of transition, quietly marking a moment when the old and the new coexisted in balance. Its design, unchanged in spirit for more than a century, reminds us of continuity. Abraham Lincoln's portrait connects the present to the past, reinforcing the idea that history lives on through symbols repeated across generations. The Union Shield on the reverse speaks of unity and strength, values that remain relevant regardless of economic shifts or technological change. These designs ensure that the 2015 1-cent will always be recognizable, always linked to a deeper national story. The question of value, often exaggerated and sensationalized, ultimately leads back to a simple truth. While rumors of unimaginable prices like $42,000 million ignite imagination, the real worth of the 2015 penny lies in what it teaches. It teaches patience, attention to detail, respect for history, and appreciation for small things. For collectors, it offers a lifelong lesson that not every treasure announces itself loudly. Some reveal their importance only to those willing to look closely and wait. Generations from now, someone may hold a 2015 1-cent and wonder about the world that produced it. They may study its metal, its design, its wear, and its preservation, drawing conclusions about the people who used it and the society they lived in. In that moment, the coin will have completed its transformation from currency to storyteller, from object of exchange to object of understanding. Every penny saved, examined, or remembered contributes to this legacy. Whether locked away in a protective holder, displayed in a collection, or rediscovered in an old drawer, the 2015 1-cent carries forward the imprint of countless lives and moments. It proves that history is not only written in grand events and famous names, but also in the smallest units of everyday life. And so the journey ends where it began, with a simple 1-cent coin. Small, humble, and often overlooked, yet endlessly rich in meaning. The 2015 penny reminds us that value is not always measured by size, price, or power, but by the stories we choose to preserve and pass on. In its quiet way, it stands as a lasting reminder that even the smallest coin can leave the deepest impression when time, memory, and human curiosity come together.